will. Ideas.
Now you come back to what we have been talking about. The reason for prayer, the reason for worship, the reason for all those things that to get you back inside, to get you back to the spirit life, to the spirit energy, to the inward energy, to the accelerated energy. Are you following? Mm-hmm. You connect it back to everything we were talking about yesterday, 2 days ago. Okay?
John chapter 6.
This is the way Jesus lived. He lived from inside out. He lives from heaven to the earth, from inside out, from accelerated life, from a higher energy. Let's read a passage of Jesus talking. Let's just examine his speech. When you listen to Jesus, you begin to understand now why he talks the way he talks. Let's read this passage. You begin to understand Jesus. His motivation, his inspiration is coming from what the Father wills or says or desires. Just the same thing he told us to go and do. Go and teach them to observe, disciple them to observe what I have told you, because he's the manifestation of the Father. Everything is from, just like it was in the original Genesis. The Father told Adam and Eve, do this, do this, do this. Don't do that. Inspiration, action, everything is always was supposed to be coming from the will of the Father, what the Father said, word and spirit, until they got distracted. But Jesus never got distracted. He is always basing everything back. I and the Father are one. I come to do the will of my Father. My Father is what he wants. He's not making the mistake of Adam again. He's just in that place. Every inspiration from heaven, from higher place, from spirit, from truth. He lived from inside out. Let's hear Jesus.
John chapter 6, verse 32 to 40. Then Jesus said to them, most assuredly, I say to you, Moses did not give you the bread from heaven, but my Father gives you the true bread from heaven.
You see? You see? People are looking at Moses. But Jesus knew the source. And people are not even looking at Moses too much. They are looking at the man himself. But not the source. Okay?
For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven.
See? That's what we are supposed to live by. Why did he call himself bread? Okay. Sustenance. The source of... the source of energy. That's the word. That's why he called himself bread. Is the energy, your sustenance, supposed to be coming from heaven. The word. And that's what he said we should go and teach the world. Make disciples, teaching them to observe all I have taught you. Make heaven, make the directions of heaven, the principles of heaven, the principles and the values of heaven, their lifestyle, their sustenance, where they derive their values from, where they derive their lifestyle from, where they derive their actions from. The source. Read it again. You will begin to read the Bible all over afresh again, I guess. Second look at the Bible.
John chapter 6, verse 32 to 40. Then Jesus said to them, most assuredly I say to you, Moses did not give you the bread from heaven, but my Father gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven.
Always look at bread as a source of energy.
Yeah.
And sustenance. Yes.
For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world.
You see? It's coming from inside out of the world. It's not coming from the world inside. It's coming from the inside out of the world. Yes.
Then they said to him, Lord, give us this bread always.
They are looking. They are again thinking external. They are thinking of physical bread. Outside again. Outside it again. Go ahead.
And Jesus said to them, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me shall never hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst.
He is the source of energy, the source of life. Yep.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
But I said to you that you have not seen me, and yet do not believe.
No, read that again.
But I said to you that you have not, but I said to you that you have seen me, and yet do not believe. All that the Father gives me will come to me, and the one who comes to me I will by no means cast out. For I have come down from heaven, not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me.
So I've come down to do the will, not my own will from the earth to up, but the will of him who, you see, he maintain that connection, always going back to instruction, always going back to initial instruction, just like God gave that instruction to Adam and Eve too. But they abandoned it, they would not, they cut it off and started being oriented by. So Jesus would not fall into that temptation. That's why all the temptations, all the 4 temptations were all about him to cut away off from the instruction and follow after the bread or the glory or the riches or the mountain, you know, everything outside. The whole thing, that's the whole essence of sin. Not to be getting your source of inspiration, life from the Spirit of God, but to be taking it from outward, external. So Jesus is affirming that no, look, by own, every action I do is explainable. It's because it's coming from inside, from the Father. Yep.
This is the will of the Father who sent me, that of all he has given me I should lose nothing, but should raise it up at the last day. And this is the will of him who sent me.
It's will.
That everyone who sees the Son and believes in him may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day.
See, everything is coming from inside, from the Spirit, and that's why you live eternally, because you are connected. That life from inside is what will raise you up. That connection, that bondage. That's why anything that cuts you off from that foundation is a sin. That is the essence of sin. Church sometimes do disconnect you from that. And that's why religion is evil.
This is the way we live, so we please the Creator.
We are living by him and for him.
Matthew chapter 6, 9 to 10. In this manner, therefore pray, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
What do people see now there in that passage? Don't just look at it as a cliche passage you already know.
Relationship.
Keep on. It's not the only thing there. Keep on saying. Apart from relationship, you see more things there.
In, out.
Of course. In, out. And then, again, there are more things.
Worship.
Huh?
Worship.
What?
Worship.
Conversion, your will. Inspiration is coming from your will. Inspiration is coming from his will, from heaven to the earth, from inside out, from instruction. Is conversion, bringing heaven to the earth. seeing the Father, seeing what is obtainable in heaven, slowing it down to do it on the earth. It's loaded, that scripture.
Yeah.
It's the whole essence of Christianity and Christian life.
The presence of God activates your inner spirit man. The word gives you the instruction into the mind of God and his kingdom.
Yep, spirit and truth, spirit and the word. Two things. This is consistent with what Jesus said. In spirit and truth. From the beginning, from Genesis.
It is vital that we maintain our heaven consciousness all
the time. That is why I was so broken when I discovered that series I did, How to Know God and Be a Friend of God, was the least watched. I said, no, I would not preach again until they watch this thing again. So I decided to read.